It is Wednesday, October the 6th. We're here for our VIP market update. What's going on today in the world? Well, we've already had the ADP numbers came out and getting things kicked off. Let me just pop over to the screen. We'll talk about what those look like. ADP numbers came out earlier. This is the precursor to non-farm payroll. So we see that quite a few new non-farm jobs came into play over the past month. The previous month was a big miss, but things seem to be ticking up over here, which is a good thing for us. So, we'll see how the markets react to that. Again, from a news perspective, there's that cat. I forgot to close my door. Hang on a second. From a news perspective, we aren't worried about what the outcome of the news is. We're not trying to interpret that and forecast our opinion out of the marketplace. We're always just looking at news to know if there's high impact news coming up, when is it coming, so that we can know if we're in the market already, what to do around that. And that's usually we could either make a decision to tighten our stops. We might look to maybe extend our take profit points or even tighten our take profit points depending on what's going on, because that news is a catalyst for the market, right? It's a catalyst that can either stop that freight train that's moving. It can be that catalyst that comes in and slows it down and even causes it to begin to reverse its direction, or it's a catalyst that adds fuel to the fire and speeds the engine up and allows it to keep trucking, right? So what I found I've been doing this since 2008. What I've found over time is the way to be consistent and be, true to yourself and have the best opportunity in the marketplace to have long-term existence in this trading game is to not put our personal opinions. I know I say this all the time, and I know I'm a broken record, but do what works. Do it over and over and over again, you become successful, right? Is if you take your opinions out of the marketplace, you're able to trade systematically, and that's what gives you the edge over the long term. I've got some cool stuff coming up, by the way, speaking of systematic approaches, but let's talk about BTX, and I'll show you something really quickly about something I'm working on with a friend of mine that's a quant that's really, really interesting. So anyway, let's pop over here, and we're gonna have a look at this. What's going on today? What are we trading? Well, looking at the ES, yesterday, we talked about a couple of things. We were in a short position, looking for short opportunities yesterday. As the market started breaking down here, we said if it starts pushing higher, if it gets to 43.40, 43.50 area, maybe just look to back off of that, because it might not be profitable for us any further. And it pushed up, moving averages crossed over here. Never had another opportunity, because at that point, once we got here to the top and things crossed over, it moved our moving average as well to where it crossed. So now coming into today, we're looking again at short opportunities. The market's short, 4 hours short, 30 minutes short. We'd like to see a short trade opportunity. It'll look like what we've been seeing this morning. Higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. We'd like to see this market keep pushing up. And then as we get under regular trading hours, we'd like to see that fall back down in the direction of that market bias, which will give us the opportunity to trade short. If for some reason this just keeps trucking higher today, same thing as yesterday. Take your finger off the button. You don't have to be in a trade. You don't have to talk yourself into a trade. You shouldn't have any fear of missing out, because if your system doesn't tell you to trade, you shouldn't trade. That's just how it works. That's how you get the edge. You get the edge by following a consistent method that's been consistently profitable over time, and taking those trades as they exist and not trading when they don't exist. We get ourselves into trouble when we start trying to push the button because we're bored or we feel like we need to do something, right? So we're looking for short trades on the S&P. So we'd like to see this keep pushing higher. I'd like to see it get up here, around 43.12, 43.15, and then look for that as the resistance point to go short off of. But if it keeps trucking higher here, especially if we get up to this 43.30, 43.35 area and break above that again, if it does that, then we certainly won't want to be participating, right? We want to just let the market do what it does and come back and trade another day. For crude, we're in a long position still. So, yesterday we talked about that. We'd like to see it push higher and then uh, pull back for us a little bit and then take it long again. It did that. It made it did pull back, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, pushed back in our favor, like we were going to break back in the direction of that market bias, but it just couldn't continue on. We did ratchet off a lot of risk here, but it just could not continue on. And overall, this morning it started falling backwards a little bit. We'd like to see this pull back even maybe a little bit more. Lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, like we're seeing. And then as we get underway here in about an hour, when all the market participants fully come online, we'd like to see, if this pushes back in the direction of its market bias with some momentum, we'd certainly like to be able to, be in a position to take that trade. So again, don't worry about how high can it go, because at this point you've got folks talking about, can oil go any higher? Don't let those little earwigs get in your ear, because oil can go as high as it needs to go. Don't, where is the top? Where is the bottom? When you start trying to forecast that, you get yourself into trouble. Just keep following the trend. Once the trend reverses, it'll be in a holding pattern for a bit where we don't have any trading opportunities. And then if it starts to go short, we'll be able to take those short opportunities, right? But for right now, we're still looking for longs until the system tells us otherwise. So, as long as we can keep getting into the market, taking small amounts of losses, small loss, small loss, small loss, eventually it'll work into a small win and then even to a big win, which is what it's all about over time. So we're going to keep watching. Right now, we're looking for long trading opportunities. If this breaks down, if it just keeps falling, we break below 77.50. At that point, we'll probably see the moving average cross on the short term, on the 30-minute. But if it does break down below 77.50, at that point, I'd start looking, it might be looking short at that point, and we just take our finger off the button until we get a confirmation of short opportunities on the 4-hour. But for right now, we're still looking for long trades, lower highs, lower lows, and then a break back in the direction of that market bias. Gold is in a short bias, 4-hour short, 30 minutes short. It's pushing higher right now. So obviously what we're looking for on gold is a break back down here, break back down below its lower high, and that would give us an opportunity to trade short on gold. So there we have it. That's what we're looking at there. If you guys are interested, real quickly, just a sidebar, I'll put this other screen up over here. And this is something I'm working on with a friend. Some of you guys want more action, more active trading, but still want a systematic approach to it. This is going to look crazy, just giving you a heads up. It's going to look crazy when you see it. But this guy that is a buddy of mine up in the Northeast, used to be a quant, worked for a big firm writing their quantitative analysis programs that help to trade the market. So he's in that kind of AI field and has been working on this for quite some time. He's got a couple of programs that he runs personally, and he and I have been talking about putting one out commercially. He left the business 15-ish years ago and just been trading on his own since then. And really cool guy. Yeah, that man behind the curtain, market wizard. So this is one of his applications. He trades he's got 4 pairs. He's looking at the Russell versus the Dow, and then looking at the NASDAQ versus the S&P. So he's always kind of directional trading on one's long, one's short, one's long, one's short, and kind of playing those against each other almost as an arbitrage style trade that really works. Very, very cool. When everything same systematic approach to what we're looking at over on BTX. You've got multiple time frames and multiple multiple filters that it's looking at, and the computer identifies when it should be taking these trades, and it's pretty much spot on looking at longs and shorts. When it's writing these trades out for for the entries, and it's all well, it's not fully automated yet. Stuff on his side is automated. We're looking at ways to automate this for other people as well. And when that becomes available, if you guys are interested, I'll let you know about it. Everything I've done on this channel, as you guys know, is mainly to keep myself in my right headspace, because trading's such a mental game, and when you're by yourself, it's really easy to talk yourself into things and talk yourself out of things, which is why you need that systematic approach. So as I've said before, I don't know if anybody watches these videos or not. Do what you will with it. It's here for me to keep myself on point and on target. But from time to time, if you guys want access to something like I just showed you, that's a pretty cool one that I think will help people, because it takes all of your emotion out of it and just lets you allow a systematic approach to actually run automatically in your account. So that can be pretty cool for you. So anyway, that's it for now. I'm gonna leave it here and get out and get on with my trading day. I hope you guys have a successful trading day as well. Remember, stick to the method, stick to the rules. If you're trading BTX, it doesn't get any easier, and we showed you month over month over month over month over month over month over month that it is profitable in the long run. So small losses, roll with them, because those lead to small wins and eventually big wins. What you don't want are any big losses, and BTX keeps you from having those. All right.